And hello everyone, welcome to the Red October Network. Glad to be back. We have our third installment of the classic gaming review. Yes, we've been picking a lot of odd systems. Here's another one of them. This is the Panasonic 3DO. Anyways, a little background on this. This was the first 32-bit platform, or the 32-bit system. It was released in early 1993, and it was also one of the first CD-loaded game systems, CD-only game systems. And so this is actually a pretty important thing. This is actually the FZ1 model. This is the front loader. There was a model, I believe it was the FZ10, which was a top loader. Looked kind of like the PlayStation 3. It was kind of like that rounded shape. So a little tour of this system. This is the front of it. Looks a little bit like I guess you could say kind of a console, like a VCR access light for when it's searching, ready. This is like the power. This is the power button. And then they have a door opening. So, try to get it open. So here's a sample game, Twisted the Game Show. I had this hidden in my basement. I was going to show you Petanque, but yeah, this was a CD game. Notice the really bland color. These discs are actually not copy protected, so you can actually burn disc images if you get them on BitTorrent and burn them to CD, and they should play. Believe it or not. You may recognize this controller port. That's actually for the controller. It's a 9-prong. Looks sort of like the Genesis controller. I don't really think that the Genesis controller is compatible. Now, speaking of the controller, here's the controller. Very basic setup, actually. Has a D-pad, a stop button, play pause, A, B, C, and then 2 shoulder buttons, L, and R. Now what's really unique about this is that there's only one controller port, but you can play 2-player games. As you can see here, there's a port, and so the second controller will daisy chain into the first. So that's a really unique structure, and it helps a little bit because you can kind of sit away further from the TV. So anyways, we'll go look around the back of the system, and this is the back of the thing. So obviously your composite plugs, power outlet, yellow, red, white, stereo sound, and this is an S-video out. This was one of the first systems to support S-video for up to 640 by 480. RF out for legacy TVs that didn't have the 3 colors or the S-video. Channel selector, and an expansion port. So this actually was a important because when the PlayStation came out in '94 in Japan, 3DO and Panasonic announced that they would release a upgrade to their 3DO. Now the 3DO was $800 when it was available back in the early 1990s. Nobody wanted to buy an $800 system, and really the games weren't too big, but yeah, what they did was they lowered the price point to $400 to compare to the Sega Saturn, and also they designed a chip, I believe it was called the AM2, that was going to be like the Super Effects chip on the Super Nintendo, and it was going to go in this port. And basically that's what it was going to do. Now I'll go and give a little display of what this system can do. So we'll turn on our TV. In the meantime, hook this up, give a little color to the, and we'll power it up, give a little preview, plug the controller in, and we'll give it a go. You can see the screen, the opening screen, rather. So we'll turn it on. Once again, power it up. So there you go. Keep in mind this was one of the first 32-bit systems out there. Kind of a slow loading time. 3DO logo. Pretty cool graphics considering we only had the Genesis and Super Nintendo at the time. So turn off the light. So loading up. Now this is only a single speed CD-ROM driver. Actually, I think it was a double speed. I stand corrected. So you can see the logo. And there you go. Pretty cool for 93. Twisted, the game show.
Live from the Velodrome, it's time to get twisted with your host, Twink Sale. Use the cursor pad to select your contestant, then press the A button. Press the C button after everyone has made a selection.
So this is pretty cool stereo sound.
Now, Madam Elaine, how smart be...
So it's really cool sound.
Will the next player please select a contestant? Press C when all players have made their selections. Now, Uncle Fez, will the next player please select a contestant?
Throughout the game, I will refer to you by your
So-
contestant's name. The object of Twisted is really quite simple. Roll the cyber die, complete the various challenges, and get to the end first. And what happens then, Ray?
Well, Twink, our lucky winner will receive a one-way trip out of this TV wasteland into whatever the hell's on the other side of the screen.
So you can see that's pretty cool. Actually pretty unique, I gotta say, for a system. So, although this is probably, if you're a PlayStation geek, you look at that and you say it's not that impressive. At the time it was. And nice thing is, it's a good CD player too. You can go and you can get graphics and such and display. So there you go. There's the Panasonic Real FZ1 model 3DO system. So we'll be back next time. I promised the Game Gear, but I brought this up. So that'll be our 4th episode. See you later.